The lights inside the America's Got Talent theater glow softly as the audience settles into their seats, the low hum of anticipation floating through the room like a held breath. It's another long audition day, hundreds of dreams, thousands of hopes, and only a handful of moments that will truly be remembered. The judges sit comfortably behind their desk, familiar faces to millions around the world. Simon Cowell leans back slightly, arms crossed, wearing his usual expression of guarded curiosity. He has seen it all, or so he believes. Then the host calls the next contestant. From the side of the stage, a young Filipino man steps into the light. He doesn't stride forward with confidence or wave enthusiastically to the crowd. Instead, he walks carefully, almost cautiously, as if every step matters. His clothes are simple, neat, clean, but modest. No glittering jacket, no dramatic entrance music, no attempt to impress before even opening his mouth. He pauses at center stage, takes a breath, and looks out at the sea of faces before him. For a brief moment, the size of the theater seems to overwhelm him. The camera cuts to the audience. Some people smile politely. Others whisper to their neighbors. A few raise their eyebrows, unsure what to expect. It's not judgment exactly, more like curiosity mixed with doubt. This is America's Got Talent, after all. The bar is high, and the stage is unforgiving. Simon glances down at the contestant's cue card, then back up again. Another singer, perhaps. Another hopeful dreamer. He has heard thousands of voices claim they will change the judges' lives forever. Most don't. So, the host begins warmly, breaking the silence. What's your name? The contestant answers softly, his accent immediately noticeable. His voice trembles just a little, not from weakness, but from nerves held tightly in check. And where are you from? From the Philippines, he replies. A ripple moves through the crowd. The Philippines is known for passionate singers, but it's also a country far away, and the journey to this stage suddenly feels long and heavy. Simon tilts his head slightly, intrigued but still reserved. What do you do back home? One of the judges asks. The young man hesitates, then answers honestly. He speaks of simple work, long days, and music is something that lived in his heart long before it ever had a stage. As he talks, his hands clasp together, fingers interlocked, grounding himself. Then comes the question that always matters most. What will you be singing today? The contestant swallows. The moment stretches. The audience leans in just a bit closer. Elvis Presley, he says. For a split second, there's silence. Then, a few soft chuckles. Someone in the audience laughs under their breath. Elvis is sacred ground. His songs have been sung, copied, butchered, and glorified countless times. Singing Elvis on this stage is risky. Singing Elvis when you look like this, quiet, humble, unassuming, feels almost impossible. The camera cuts to Simon. He raises his eyebrows, lips curling into a half smile that says everything without saying a word. Not impressed. Not yet. He has heard Elvis covers before. Many of them. Too many. Which song? Simon asks, his tone neutral but edged with skepticism. The contestant names the song. A classic. A dangerous choice. Simon nods slowly. Okay, he says, leaning back again. Whenever you're ready. The lights dim slightly. The background fades into darkness, leaving the contestant standing alone in a soft pool of light. The theater grows quiet, so quiet that even the sound of breathing feels loud. Somewhere in the back, the band prepares. The first note hasn't even been played yet, but the pressure is already immense. On stage, the Filipino singer closes his eyes. In that moment, the world seems to shrink. The judges, the cameras, the audience, all of it fades away. There is only him, the song, and the memory of why he started singing in the first place. Maybe it was a radio playing late at night. Maybe it was a dream formed in a small room thousands of miles away. Whatever it was, it has brought him here. The music begins. A soft introduction. Familiar. Instantly recognizable. Some audience members shift in their seats, bracing themselves. This could go wrong very quickly. Simon glances sideways at the other judges, as if to say, let's see where this goes. The contestant lifts the microphone closer to his lips. His hands stop shaking. His shoulders straighten, just slightly. He inhales deeply. And then, he sings. The very first note cuts through the room like a blade of light. It's not loud. It's not flashy. But it's controlled, warm, confident, real. Eyes open across the audience. Simon's expression changes, not dramatically, but enough to notice. His head tilts forward a fraction. His arms uncross without him even realizing it. The singer continues, his voice carrying a depth that no one expected. There's a richness there, a tone shaped by life rather than lessons. It doesn't sound like someone trying to be Elvis. It sounds like someone who understands Elvis. The murmurs stop. The chuckles vanish. Every ear in the theater is suddenly paying attention. And just like that, what began as a doubtful introduction transforms into something else entirely, a moment on the edge of becoming unforgettable. Scene 1 ends not with applause, not with cheers, but with realization. The moment the first full line leaves his mouth, the air inside the theater shifts. What began as polite attention turns into stunned focus. The Filipino singer's voice grows steadier, stronger, filling the vast space with a warmth that feels almost intimate. It isn't forced. It isn't overdone. Each word flows naturally, as if the song has been waiting for him rather than the other way around. The melody settles into the room, wrapping around the audience like a familiar memory suddenly brought back to life. Simon Cowell leans forward in his chair. His earlier skepticism has vanished, replaced by something far rarer, surprise. His eyes narrow slightly, not in criticism, but in concentration. He listens closely, as though trying to understand where this voice has come from. One hand lifts unconsciously toward his chin. He doesn't blink. The singer moves into the verse with confidence now. His accent softens as the music takes control, and the pronunciation is clean, respectful, careful without sounding rehearsed. He doesn't mimic Elvis's mannerisms. There's no exaggerated swagger, no forced vibrato. Instead, he sings with sincerity, letting the emotion do the work. The result is haunting, Elvis's soul filtered through a life shaped by struggle, distance, and quiet perseverance. In the audience, faces change. A woman in the front row presses her hand to her mouth. A man beside her nods slowly, eyes wide. Somewhere in the middle rows, a young couple grips each other's hands without realizing it. This isn't just a performance anymore, it's a connection, invisible but undeniable. As the song builds, the singer's posture shifts. His shoulders lift, his chest opens, and the nervousness that once clung to him falls away. He is no longer a contestant standing under bright lights. He is a storyteller. His eyes open now, and when he looks out into the crowd, there is no fear in them, only purpose. The camera cuts to the judges' table. One judge smiles in disbelief, shaking her head slightly, as if thinking, where has this been hiding? Another leans toward Simon, eyebrows raised, silently asking the same question. Simon doesn't respond. He's locked in. The chorus arrives. This is the moment that separates good singers from unforgettable ones. The Filipino singer takes a breath, not rushed, not shallow, but deep and grounded. Then he releases the sound with controlled power. His voice swells, filling every corner of the theater, climbing effortlessly without losing its warmth. There's pain in the note, but also hope. Experience. Truth. A collective gasp ripples through the audience. Someone whispers, "Oh my God." Simon's mouth opens slightly. He doesn't even realize it. The band behind the singer fades into the background, perfectly balanced, allowing the voice to lead. The lights shift subtly, warming the stage, giving the performance a timeless glow. It feels less like a modern talent show and more like a moment suspended in history, something that could belong to any era. As the chorus continues, emotion begins to show on the singer's face. His brow tightens. His eyes glisten, though he never breaks. He holds the note longer than expected, steady and sure, then lets it fall gently back into the melody. The control is masterful. The restraint is even more impressive. In the audience, people rise slowly to their feet, not in a rush, not as a cue, but instinctively. One by one, they stand, drawn upward by the sheer honesty of what they're hearing. Some close their eyes, swaying gently. Others stare at the stage, afraid to miss a single second. Simon finally exhales. He leans back for a moment, shakes his head, then leans forward again. This is not what he prepared for. This is not what the cue card suggested. This is raw, real talent, and it has caught him completely off guard. The singer moves into the bridge, where the song softens again. The volume drops, and the vulnerability rises. His voice thins just enough to reveal the cracks beneath, Memories of late nights, distant dreams, sacrifices made quietly, far from any spotlight. Every lyric now feels personal, as though he is confessing something rather than performing. A judge discreetly wipes at her eye. The camera catches it. Social media will explode over that moment later, but right now, it's private, human, unguarded. As the final chorus approaches, the singer steadies himself. His hands grip the microphone firmly, grounding his energy. He looks upward for just a second, not dramatically, but as if acknowledging the journey that brought him here. Then he delivers the last chorus with everything he has left. It's powerful without being loud. Emotional without being messy. Respectful without being safe. The final note hangs in the air. He holds it. Just long enough. Then he releases. Silence. Not the awkward silence of uncertainty, but the sacred kind, where no one wants to break the spell. The theater seems to forget how to breathe. Simon's eyes are fixed on the stage. For the first time, there is no calculation in his expression. No critique forming. Only awe. This is no longer an audition.